Thank you so much for checking out this free video. If you don't mind, please click like and subscribe. Holy smokes, the chat today. Listen, I get it. I get it. Some of you hate WWE, okay? You're always looking for something to get mad about. But listen to me, okay? So what happened with Andrade is that Andrade got fired from WWE, and the initial story that we heard, which apparently was legitimate because he ended up on AEW TV like the next week, was that he was fired and they didn't care, just get out of here, okay? So now it comes out that I don't know if he showed up or I don't know what it was, but now they are trying to hold him to the terms of his deal. So the terms of the TKO contracts, and I believe this was in the prior contracts as well, but for sure it's in the new contracts, is that if you are fired with cause, they are going to try to hold you to a 1-year non-compete. Fired for cause or a breach of contract, okay? So, what they're trying to do is not allow him to work for a year. Now, let me make something abundantly clear, okay? I don't believe for a second that this would hold up in court, okay? I don't believe for 1 second, if Andrade or Tony Khan or whoever challenges this, that it's going to hold up in court, because you can't prevent somebody from working for an entire year. It doesn't matter if it's in the contract. I don't believe for a second that this would hold up if they challenge this in court, okay?
And Brian?
Yes.
It was in contracts before TKO. When I went back in 2019, there was if you were fired for cause, 1 year no compete, because I asked Johnny about it. I'm like, 1 year sounds excessive, and he reiterated that that's standard now, but that obviously you have to have been fired for cause or breach, and since I'm like the last person to worry about that, I went, okay, whatever. But when I was let go in the pandemic, they were obligated to pay me for the 90-day no-compete, because it wasn't for cause, it was due to the pandemic, and then they paid me for 90, which was nice. But yeah, had I screwed up and they fired me for cause, there was a 1 year in it.
Yes. Now, everybody is looking at this from the WWE is horrible side, and no one is looking at this as to why that clause is in the contract, okay? So listen, let me repeat. I don't think that this will hold up in court. It sounds, I mean, they've tried this before. Actually, the one with Brock was preposterous. Like, he wanted to leave, and they granted him his release with a 10-year non-compete in combat sports. He took it to court, and obviously he won. So the reason that the contract has this is not because WWE are a bunch of horrible, evil people.
No.
It's because if you work for WWE, okay, let's say that you're Drew McIntyre, all right? Drew McIntyre signs a 3-year contract with WWE. You know, he's all excited to go to work, okay? So they use him for 6 months. He doesn't like the way he's being used. The grass appears to be greener on the other side. He wants to go to AEW. Well, he committed to 3 years, but he doesn't want to wait 3 years to go to AEW. He wants to go right now. 6 months into the contract, the 3-year agreement that he signed. So he figures, well, there's only one way out. And he beats the living heck out of somebody backstage. He hits him with a pipe, and they fire him. And then the next Wednesday, he shows up on Dynamite. That's what they're trying to avoid here. The idea of a contract is you sign a 3-year deal, and yes, obviously, in any company, they're going to try to make the contract one-sided. But you realize that this, stuff like this happened. They had a lot of guys in AEW that didn't want to be there. They couldn't wait to leave and go back to WWE. So the solution for those guys is, hey, I'm gonna beat up Sammy Guevara backstage. I'm gonna hit him with a water bottle or whatever. They'll fire me and I'll be on Raw on Monday. They're trying to avoid that by having if you are fired, no, you can't just go work for somebody else the next day. You agreed to be here for X amount of time, and so that's the situation.
And it has to be fired for cause.
For cause, yes. Not just like, oh, we're done. We're like, it's not a situation where, oh, we got nothing for Andrade. Well, let's fire him or whatever. Andrade had to do something that was a breach of contract or a reason for the company to fire him for this to go into effect. If you're Drew McIntyre and, you work for 6 months, a year, or even Ridge Holland, which actually he wasn't fired, but let's just say that Ridge Holland was fired. You can't just fire Ridge Holland because you don't want anything to do with the guy and then say you also can't work anywhere for a year. That doesn't fly. If you fire him just because you're done using him or whatever, like he can go wherever he wants. Or you can do the 90-day if that's in or whatever. But this is specifically for people who are trying to get out of their contract by getting themselves fired. They don't want them to just be able to walk to the opposition by doing something with cause to necessitate them firing you. That's why it's in there. Not because they're horrible people. They may be horrible people, but that's beside the point of why this is in the contract. For all I know, I should ask around. It may be in the AEW contract as well. I mean, wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this is not something exclusive to WWE, that if you are fired with cause, you can't just go work for the opposition the next day. It's I think it's a regular thing in business. It would be an open
invitation for havoc backstage.
Yes. You don't like it here? All right, beat somebody up. You can work on Dynamite Wednesday. They don't want that to happen, obviously. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notify button, and you'll never miss a video again.